Hey everyone, welcome back to Eat the Cake Anime. I'm your host, Jay Renee.
And I'm her ever-loving husband and sidekick, Ron.
Oh, welcome back, producer Ron. How are you?
I'm good. How about yourself, babe?
Just fine, thanks. How was your Labor Day?
Yeah, it was alright.
Okay, well, you spent it with me, so it should have been great.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? Okay. Anyway, all right, you guys, we hope you all had a happy and safe Labor Day this past Monday. It is now September. This year is passing by so quickly. Like, where did the time go?
Yeah.
So now September. You have the leaves changing. We're going into fall. We're going into, this is what I like to call like snuggle weather, that kind of thing. So, and it's because of that, you guys, that this month we're going to be focusing on romance animes. Okay. Enough with all of the, the different stuff, the ridiculous titles. That was great last month. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for your support. But now I like to think that this is like a cozy romantic time of year. What about you?
Yeah, it kind of is. This is the shack up, get yourself a girlfriend type weather.
Oh, the shack up, get your girlfriend. Okay, this is coming from a man who's happily married, folks. But anyway, I digress. So we're going to be focusing on romance animes for the month of September. And we decided to lead off with one that is a particular favorite of producer Ron's. And it's entitled The Apothecary Diaries.
Yeah.
Now, go ahead, babe.
Yeah, this one actually kind of fell into and wandered into it by mistake. We got into this one because we just got finished watching Midnight Diner.
Mm-hmm.
And after we got finished watching Midnight Diner, we were trying to find something along the same vein as Midnight Diner.
Right.
And then we looked at another one called the Makanai, the cooking for the Makai household with the geishas.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow after watching that one, this one popped up in my recommendations.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started watching Apothecary Diary, I was like, it's not the same, but it's one of those animes where you start watching like maybe 2 or 3 episodes, and next thing you know, you've gone down that rabbit hole.
All right, yeah, so you are exactly right. Okay, so for context, everyone, when producer Ron was talking about Midnight Diner, little side note, it's this show that we found on Netflix. It's a Japanese show, and it's about comfort and cooking and everyday people who gather in this diner. So when we found Apothecary Diaries, we were looking for something that was, like you said, along those lines, but we found that it was a lot different than what we thought. And it was a pleasant surprise.
Very much so.
So when we talk about Apothecary Diaries, it was, of course, a Japanese light novel series. It's been around since 2011. So we're talking, 14 years so far?
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it's now an anime. It was released here in the States in October 2023. And the second season came out on Netflix January 2025. So it's set in like the alternate Tang dynasty, like the medieval, like pre-medieval China. And it's about this character. Her name is Mao Mao.
Mm-hmm.
And Mao Mao was raised by her apothecary, or pharmacist father. And she was abducted, kidnapped, forced to serve like within the palace. So the imperial court, like they wanted her. So she was abducted. She was sold into service so she could work there. She's very skilled, but she was unassuming. So people didn't really pay attention to her, but her knowledge, her intelligence, it quickly drew the attention of Jinshi. Jinshi was, the insightful head eunuch who sees past her facade and engages her in solving palace intrigues and tasting food for poison.
Yeah, a little bit of a backstory on Mao Mao. Mao Mao used to work in I don't know what it's called, but it's like a shop where all the geishas and so forth are.
Mm-hmm.
And she literally painted freckles on her face so that she didn't have to get out there and work, because in their culture, people with freckles were like frowned upon. They weren't looked at as desirable and so forth.
Yeah, at that time. Mm-hmm.
But she ended up working and being with her assumed father, Loman, who was a palace doctor at one time, and he was a eunuch.
Okay, you aren't giving anything away, are you?
No, this is stuff that they're going to find out within the first 3 episodes.
Just making sure. Okay.
And as we go through with this young lady, and we're going to call her that, this young lady has issues where she likes to play with like different poisons, different medicines, and so forth. Yeah, this one of them little young ladies that got issues.
Well, you keep saying issues, but you know, you guys here at Eat the Cake Anime, producer Ron and I were always going back and forth on certain things. Now, I see Mao Mao as, you know, very intelligent, and I know you do too. But if you guys notice, her keen observational skills and her medical background in this anime make her not only a quick thinker, but a genuinely active participant in each of the arcs that we come across, rather than just being your typical passive protagonist. Like,
Agreed.
She's very, I don't want to say headstrong, but she knows herself. She, you know, grown from the outsider to like a confident insider, you know, beginning as a reluctant palace servant, like you said. She didn't want to do that, but she steadily finds her voice and her place while balancing this kind of humility with a quiet strength. And Jinshi actually recognizes that. So the setup, you guys, for Apothecary Diaries, the reason why we chose it as a romance anime is because this anime cultivates a will they or won't they dynamic, like the slow burn, as we like to call it. The slow burn romance as the mutual respect and connection between Mao Mao and Jinshi, like it comes up even within the framework of all the palace, you know, intrigue and stuff that's going on.
Yeah, because when you're introduced to Jinshi, first thing that you're brought to your main attention is that Jinshi is a eunuch.
Yes.
And in respects to him being a eunuch, people know in respects to being a eunuch, you're castrated. So in respects to them having a relationship, we're just trying to see how that dynamic is going to play itself out.
And as that Jinshi discerns Mao Mao's talent and offers her opportunities, it also, you know, the opportunities help set her apart, but they also keep her safe, because during that time there are a lot of these issues going on within the court. And Jinshi, I can't pronounce it, Jinshi, yes, he is a eunuch, but he's more than just like a eunuch that's there, and he's more than just a catalyst for Mao Mao. He has kindness, he has patience, things that were kind of unheard of back then when servants were like dealing with one another. And then you had these layered motivations that kind of made his bond with Mao Mao a little more nuanced and authentic than you would the typical servant relationship. For me, for my part, it all almost reminded me of, okay, Game of Thrones. Everybody knows Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones was great. The ending, I have an issue with, but it reminds me of the relationship. It's a parallel between Grey Worm. Grey Worm was the leader of Daenerys Targaryen's, first of her name, Daenerys Targaryen's the Unsullied army. So yes, he was a eunuch as well. And the relationship between him and Missandei. Missandei was Daenerys's, she's a former slave turned into a political advisor. She and Grey Worm, they had this bond. It was a slow burn. It kind of built up during Game of Thrones. And that's what Apothecary Diaries reminds me of. Because Missandei was a former slave and translator. Grey Worm, he was the leader of the Unsullied, and their relationship evolved like from, you know, servant to friendship to romantic involvement, while at the same time having that mutual respect and understanding. So that's what jumped out to me most with Apothecary Diaries and the relationship between Mao Mao and Jinshi. So together, you guys, the relationship in Apothecary Diaries between Jinshi and Mao Mao, it blossoms not through like these grand gestures that we see in some animes, but with the small meaningful moments where you see like shared trust, a little understanding, and also a curiosity about the inner machinations of the court. So the slow burning chemistry, I think it would be appealing to you guys if you favor like realistic emotions over the melodrama. You know, the will they or won't they, oh my God, something happens, oh, it's such a great misunderstanding, or oh, will they get it right? That's not what Apothecary Diaries is.
Yeah.
It is so different.
Because Mao Mao, beginning, she did not like Jinshi. She thought he was overbearing. She thought he was posturing.
Right.
Thought he was over everything. But over the course of time, they actually build respect for one another and respects to their relationship. And they actually become distrustful friends over the course of time. And Jinshi, not trying to give anything away about the coming episodes, but Jinchi has some secrets in respects to his past, in respects to his relationship to the court and everything else, and trying to make sure that he pursues her in a certain way without outing himself.
Right. And you can see the slow burn like evolution, because there are no big huge confessions or declarations of love or anything like that. It's just like the meaningful glances, the little conversations. You know, the broader appeal is like it doesn't confine itself. The Apothecary Diaries, it does not confine itself to just simply romance anime. And that's what makes it such a good romance anime. You have like the mysteries that are going, you know, you have like the mystery thrills in each arc. You have world building. Oh my God, the world building.
There's a lot of world building.
Yeah, a lot of world building. There are rich visuals, cultural details, and a lot of period specific nuances that make the setting fully immersive. And also the pacing is really balanced for the progression of the plot and the quiet character beat. So when you blend that in with the courtroom intrigue and the tender moments and things of that nature, it makes for a great romance anime. It's very subtle, but it's grounded in realistic emotion. And that's why I think it works so well.
And we're only talking about 2 or 3 of the characters from this particular anime.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't even gotten into the inner court where we discuss like the emperor or his concubines or anything else.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot more going on in this anime other than the 3 characters that we're speaking of.
Yeah, it's so much. We really think that you'll like it. Eat the Cake Anime, we wholeheartedly recommend the Apothecary Diaries. Not only is it a light Japanese novel, it is they've had 2 manga adaptations and the anime. So on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give it, Producer Ron? 3, 2, 1.
8.
Okay, great. We're in agreement.
Now,
Right.
I'm just starting or somewhere towards the middle of the 2nd arc. So I'm giving it an 8 because there's still more for me to see.
Right. Well, I've actually been thinking, you guys, about diving back into manga and doing it with Apothecary Diaries. So the Apothecary Diaries is definitely one to watch, especially kicking off this month of romantic anime or romance animes or animes that deal with romance. This is what we're here for. We're going to be bringing you some more things that we are sure that you will like here at Eat the Cake Anime. But for right now, we thank you guys so much. Enjoy the change of weather. Enjoy it, you guys, because fall is coming. It will be here before you know it. And with that, Producer Ron, do you have anything else?
I saw that Game of Thrones reference you threw in there.
Whatever. Anyway, so special thanks as always to Z Media. Thank you so much. Mazani Matthews does a fantastic job. You guys check her out on all the platforms. Z Media Creative Studios. She is there and she is fantastic. All right, you guys. So that's it for this week. Until next time, here at Eat the Cake Anime, what do we love to say? The same old tagline.
It's okay
to enjoy anime.